3 is the future.
Welcome, crew, to What Are Your Three, a Channel 3 podcast where we take a member of the Channel 3 community, discuss 3 games of their choosing, go through some honorable mentions and some other odds and ends for a nice little video game discussion, but only when we hit record, which I have now done, so I can now actually kick it over to Ray this time, unlike the introduction I just did 90 seconds ago where I did not actually get to kick it to Ray.
It's crazy. You guys are gonna miss out. There was some wild remarks made when Dan had not hit the record button, and that's it. You'll never know what they were because Dan did not hit record.
Ray had some wild takes. I never saw it coming.
You'll have to wonder forever. But tonight we have Machete Man. Machete Man, how you doing?
What it is, homies?
We got you here. We have Machete Man, who is the hidden relative of 022. This is the story we're going with. So you can believe it or not believe it, but he is 022 adjacent, at least, at minimum.
Adjacent, at minimum.
At minimum, 022 adjacent. And he's here to talk about some games. Game number 1, it just says Mario Kart. Game number 1 just says
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Tell me about Mario Kart. Go tell us the whole story. Where are we starting? Where are we starting the Mario Kart story?
Mario Kart. We start all the way back. Not all the way back, but Mario Kart 64. Classic game. A lot of childhood memories. And it's just all around good game. That's where it started for me with my Mario Kart career, I guess as we'll call it.
Who were you playing this first Mario Kart game with?
I'm a single child, man. So me, myself, and I got an N64 for Christmas one morning. Bright and early, Christmas morning, walk downstairs, brand new N64. Perfect moment.
And was this like the game that you got with the N64?
I got that and a couple other games, but Mario Kart and another game that we're gonna get to later on stuck out the most for me.
And so you get this game and you start playing it. What is it about this game that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm all in. I need to play this all the time.
Oh, just at that point in time, a lifelong love of racing and Mario. When I was, to go even further back, when I was 4 or 5, one of my earliest memories, again, Christmas morning, NES. At like 4 or 5 years old, one of the two, Mario games from as soon as I started playing video games in my life until now. So it's just always been kind of there. I've been a Nintendo kid my whole life.
And so you get the game. What character are you racing around with? Was it like, I get to use Mario, or was it another one that drew?
Oh, back in the day is Mario, of course.
It's all Mario, right?
Is Mario, but we grow and we evolve into now Mario Kart 8. My mains are Tanuki and Iggy.
There wasn't concern about the weights. And
back then
it goes back to that, like Bowser's the beef, and like he's hauling in there. But we weren't competing in time trials. You're just playing against your like just ghosts yourself or friends, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, simpler times, my friend. Simpler times. You were either good or you weren't. And it didn't matter character-wise as much as it does now.
Yeah, there weren't 12 Yoshis on Yoshis. There weren't 12, Megan's Law list Waluigi's playing in a room together.
You weren't even allowed. Someone picked the character. Too bad. No one else got to pick.
Nope. Too bad. So sad.
That's right. So we jumped from 64 to 8. Were there any Mario Karts in between that you like really enjoyed or wanted to say anything?
Not as much as Mario Kart 64 and now Mario Kart 8. I've played the other ones too, but by far those are the two that stick out the most. The first and where we're at now that are like the most enjoyable for me.
All right, so tell us.
A big part of enjoying Mario Kart 8 so much is being here, being on Channel 3, being with the MKR group and doing kart gangs. I love kart gangs so much. It is really fun And it kind of challenges you a bit to not just always think about yourself. You have to think about your teammates as well and how you all stack up and playing your part. And I mean, it's interesting and challenging and fun.
How much Mario Kart 8 were you playing before joining with the group?
Just a little bit, not much, but and still enjoying it, playing it, from time to time. But when O2 was like, "Hey, man, I know you already have a Channel 3 account. You just haven't been like playing with the groups or anything. You got to come play Mario Kart." Because me and him have always been competitive with each other when it comes to video games, when it comes to anything. And now I think he has a little bit of regret that I've shown up and started doing, good and racking up some championships. I think he's a little salty.
Oh, so you had some instant success with the kart gangs, right?
Oh yes, I am already a three-time Card Gangs champion.
So you're the lucky charm of the team.
Sometimes it be like that.
Has there been have people reached out and said how do I get you on the team? Has there been any behind the scenes action?
I've had people that have wanted me to be on their team because I'm not always. I have the ability to place well when the team needs that, but I also have the ability to do like pack management and like be in the back and make sure that I finish ahead of other people and keep other people back there with me. It's not always about finishing first, finishing second, any high placements in kart gangs. Sometimes it's about a role that you can play and do it well and make sure that the other team messes up so your team has success. So I know how to play the roles, and that matters.
What courses would you prefer?
My favorites right now are Coconut Mall. I like the shortcuts in Coconut Mall, and I can be pretty speedy from no matter what position I'm at on the track and get one of those, top finishes if that's what the team needs. Bowser Castle 3 is another one. Same scenario. I like runner tracks. I don't like tracks that some people refer to as bagger tracks. I like to run when I can. So on certain tracks where I know that I can run and get big points for the team, those are sometimes the majority of my favorites. It doesn't matter where we go though. I can do whatever needs to be done. But Bowser Castle 3 is definitely one. Sunset Wilds is another top favorite. Trying to think. Those three stand out the most right now, which are probably my best tracks. Ribbon Road's another favorite. All the Rainbow Roads, I'm pretty good at as well. I like those a lot.
So tell me about. I'm scrolling through your profile. Tell me about the group photo from like 2 weeks ago. We got O2 and Foosh.
Oh Lord!
Tell me about the group. Tell me about this group here that gets together.
That's just pretty much the whole fam. We were missing Froggy. Froggy's an honorary fam member now. He creates lots of laughs. We have family.
Froggy becomes an honorary member of I think any group that he's in.
I just saw another clip up.
He's got that ability
of somebody else talking about Froggy. Like Froggy has been in the last 5 episodes.
Everyone brings him up.
Love Froggy. He's a great guy.
So tell us, is this a group of people that did you guys get together often, or is this something
as much as we can? Okay. As much as we can. The majority of us are all in the same area. O2, he's in Maryland, so when he gets to come down and hang out, it's a special time. So we kind of turn up a little bit, and that was evident in that photo that you saw. That was a few deep.
I think we had heard right beforehand. Foosh had referenced that O2 that was right before, so we kind of have the bookends of this get together now.
There was it's housewarming party for Malog, which is O2's biological sister. She bought a new house, wanted to throw a party, wanted to have good food, partake in adult beverages, drink responsibly, play some games. And we even played Mario Kart. with other people that wanted to play Mario Kart who were very unsuspecting of our skill levels.
No one knows
It was quite fun.
No one
No.
ever realizes it.
No.
This is like
They were
Globo
like, "Oh."
Gym rolling in, like you had laser blazer.
Essentially, people were like, "Oh, I love Mario Kart. I'll make you hate it. I'll make you hate it. You won't like Mario Kart anymore if you play with us."
It's always the best. Like you said, there is something satisfying whenever you find someone that just doesn't know, and
It's
they
just
think,
great.
oh, right? They're like, oh, I play video games. It's like, no, I even that happened to me with my students. A bunch of them had got into Marvel Rivals, and they were bringing some stuff up, and I start laying out like all these technical aspects. Like I just start rattling off one thing after another, and they're looking at me like I have 3 heads, and I was like, you guys, you don't get it. Like there's levels. There's levels to this stuff, kids.
Listen, kids,
Exactly.
until you see the Matrix, you just don't get it.
Yeah, you
No, you
don't
don't.
know.
There was one guy in
What I do.
particular that was like, "I like Mario Kart. I'm really good at Mario Kart," and we're all like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." He's
Walk
like,
away
"Yeah,
now,
I'm
son. Walk
good.
away while you still
good."
can.
Yeah, just stop now, nerd. End it. You don't want this smoke.
Let me ask you.
And he
Let me ask
didn't.
you a nice. Let me ask you a simple question before we move on. Tell me about the correct choice for acceleration. What's the correct button
choice for
acceleration?
Oh,
Yeah, how do you-
the A button.
Okay,
The A button.
just it's
I have
one of the
big-
most answered questions too.
I have
It's
big
nice
hands,
people.
dude. So like trying to do this whole thing, it doesn't. It works for some people. When you got big mitts, it doesn't work as good.
Actually, yeah, I'm
And
I've
have a weird
always-
Well,
broken.
I guess you know
crazy
he's a pro
finger.
controller and not a
It doesn't
Joy-Con.
help.
Oh, God. That was surprising.
I've always
It's been
been
that way
able
for a long
to.
time,
I
but
tried. I tried Y for a little bit, and then I just kind of defaulted
No.
The
back to it.
contrarian and Ray couldn't even do it. And
I
that
tried.
contrarian Ray
I
always
gave it-
wants to do it.
I
Yeah,
tried
I'm
it for a
100%.
bit, and I got it, and I was like, and then I switched back, just like automatically.
Yeah. I tried it and was 100% the same way. I was like, I can't do this. And I'm a pro controller guy. To answer your question,
Yeah,
Dan, yes,
I figured I'm
I
one
can't
of the
do the
few.
Joy-Con. Can't do
Yeah.
it.
Not a lot of big hand guys
Too
are using Joy-Cons besides me.
Nah, too little. I struggle with Joy-Cons, and I beat the crap out of that one dude at the party with Joy-Cons, which is even more impressive.
All right, we move on. Game number 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
we're talking about 2009. We're talking about the actual Modern Warfare 2.
Peak.
Right? I mean, this game comes out in 2009 and locks in Call of Duty for like the next 15 years. So yeah,
Yes.
Modern Warfare said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to do this," and then Modern Warfare 2 said, "No, yeah, we really are. This is what we do now."
Modern Warfare 2 said, "No, we are that guy.
Yeah.
We are that guy."
So where are you? Where are you in life in 2009 when this game comes out?
2009. I am 20 years old in college.
You're like that's the heart of it for you. This is the game.
Yes, this is peak gaming time in college. 022's going to college in another city, which is about 3 hours from where we live. So your boy is hauling the Xbox 360 to Charlotte every weekend. Sometimes, this is why 02 ended up in the Army, by the way. Sometimes, be down there for a week. He's not going to class. He's checked out at this point. He's like, dude, I don't know what these people are talking about. I'm drawing helicopters on my tests. I got nothing, bro. So just come down here and let's game. And I was like, cool, man. So go down there and it's just like take out every night, going to like Chick-fil-A midday. You wake up at like 12. You go to Chick-fil-A. You get some fuel in you. And then you fire the 360 up. And you just run it.
And
You just run it.
that's everybody's on controller. There is no aim assist. You
No.
You move. You move that
running
controller.
and gunning, my boy. You are running and gunning.
Is this game all about multiplayer for you? Was the story was the story something you did or
we had a clan, dude? What do you mean? We had a clan. We were the Kobe clan, and we'd wreck people's worlds. We would
you still
slaughter.
had lobbies. You still had lobbies.
Yes, we would slaughter the masses. It was so bad. There would be nights where we'd be in game, like all of the homies together, and like a crew would roll in, and somebody'd be like, "Oh no, dog, we played these people last night. Back out, back out." And that happened a lot because you did not want the smoke. We were those guys.
How many prestiges? How many times have you prestige? Did you prestige? Or was it like, no, I'm in the top, I'm not trying to do this again?
I did sometimes for some Call of Duty games, no prestige. I got all my stuff. I don't care. I'm going to be the sneaky guy. Be like, oh, this guy's not even prestige. He's not that good. No. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, kid. Some of the things that we said in those lobbies would be crimes.
They're illegal today. There's no doubt about that.
100% straight to jail.
What's the play style? What's the play style when you're in there?
I was not a camper. I was a mover. We had people on our teams that would set up shop in certain places. Again, another role game. You have people that do certain things that are better at certain stuff, and I was running and gunning, laying waste, stacking bodies.
Think of any weapons that you go back to that you're like, man, I care. I remember this one. I feel it. This is what I want to pick up and use.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're gonna die. I had nothing specific. I really didn't. It's just slaughterhouse, man. Slaughterhouse.
I know. I was sprinting around with the Rangers. So the second I could do it, the second I had the doubles, I was like, that's it.
I mean, bro, this is, like I said, this is peak time in life. You're 20. You're down in a college city the majority of the time, or he's up here. Like, snowstorm rarely happens in North Carolina. He comes home, 022 comes home from college. He's like, dude, I know it's going to snow. I said, yeah, it's going to be bad. He's like, I'm not going to my parents' house. I was like, huh? Why? Where are you going? He's like, dude, I'm coming to your house. I was like, why? He's like, because you have good internet, and I live out in the country, and the internet sucks, and we got to play Call of Duty, so I'm just going to stay at your house. I was like, you're right. Makes sense. So we get snowed in.
I was like, when you guys playing together, is that split screen online, or you got two TVs?
Two TVs, bro. Come on. Split screen, that's for peasants. Come on, man. Be real. He's in one room of my house. I'm in the other room of my house. He's hooked up. I'm hardwired into the modem. He's running through my laptop directly into his Xbox 360. We're milking the bandwidth for all she's got.
I was saying 2009. That's some good internet you're running to there.
I lived in the city limits, so the bandwidth was the highest in town that you could get. We could run two off the same internet, piggyback that thing, running and gunning it, man. Playing the no Russian mission, not batting an eye. You know how it goes.
I tell you, nobody was. That mission
Lost
revealed a lot.
Zero winks of sleep.
I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it either.
No, I was
like, do you want to play the mission?
Coming out the elevator. Yes.
They're like, do you want to skip this? I was like, why would I skip a mission?
Why? There's people that say, oh, I have nightmares about that. That's why I said didn't lose a wink of sleep. First one pulling the trigger out the elevator, dude.
I didn't think of it either. I was like, it was just another level to me.
There had to be like a light Starfighter situation where they were using that to recruit people for something.
So let me hear, because this is definitely, this has to be a thing. All the Call of Duty, does this mean that like Halo just doesn't get played? Because it's really just all Call of Duty. Yeah, right.
Halo.
There's a lot of one or the other.
Halo was earlier times. I started out playing like Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, and then that is transitioned into Call of Duty. So I started there, but transitioned into Call of Duty. on Call of Duty World at War. Actually, another one of my favorite games, and Call of Duty just hung around for a while.
So
we walked Bojangles in that snowstorm. By the way, we walked. I just had to throw that in there because he'd be disappointed if I didn't mention it.
So when you weren't shooting, you were punching people in the face in UFC 2009 Undisputed.
Yes.
So I mean, 2009, you got Forrest Griffin on the cover.
You do.
The man,
he's a bad guy.
Ray, I just want to leave a pause in here for people to applaud for that transition.
Thank you. I appreciate
you. You gotta leave a break in here,
Dan.
There's that vaudevillian and hold for applause. You gotta. Okay, go on. Sorry.
I would say Forrest Griffin, the man who he might have single-handedly
put it on the map.
Might have saved the UFC from bankruptcy.
Exactly. Ultimate Fighter Season 1.
First
Spike TV against Stephen Bonner.
Stephen Bonner.
Put UFC on the map.
It was serious. So tell Undisputed 2009. This is like I think it's the first one.
It is.
I probably played more 2010, but 2009 that's the opening one.
They had some earlier, UFC games like on Xbox, the original Xbox, but they weren't really that great. They were very blocky, very dated. Mechanics didn't work very, very well for the games, but this was the first real, thoroughly done front to back, top to bottom MMA game, in my opinion.
Not an easy thing to do either, right?
Not at all.
You have this good because you got your wrestling games, right? It's for what it is. You've had boxing games, and all of a sudden you've got to put together a game where these characters can hit, then they can grab, then they can fall to the floor. There's a lot of different things happening, MMA. It's a lot of different things going on at once.
A lot of different mechanics going on. A lot of different levels. Yep.
So what was the you turn on the game? What do? You just doing different quick matches between players?
Online, ranked, get wrecked, smash your face,
skill issue.
Go home.
It's a skill game. Those fighting games are skill games. Yeah.
Put the game down. You're not good enough.
It's tough. Which characters did you prefer using?
I preferred. It really just depends. I preferred either jiu-jitsu guys, and I really preferred jiu-jitsu guys who had good hands and good kicks.
Mm-hmm.
But I also liked brawlers, like Chuck Liddell, Rampage, just going in and taking people's cookies.
I was saying, I only played hitting. I was like, if you can wrestle me to the floor, you're gonna win the match. I was like, can I get Rashad Evans?
But a lot of Vanderlei, Anderson, Tiago, a lot of Silvas.
That era of UFC, they just big cool names. I mean, a lot of great fighters now. UFC is awesome. I love it, the fight. But
back then they were beasts, dude. They were dogs. All of them were animals.
I don't have a Rampage Jackson now. I don't have a dude ripping the door off the hinges.
I can't wait till Ray gets to see this this trailer for the Rock's A24 UFC movie.
Oh, he's doing UFC. Yeah, I just saw
the trailer dropped today, so good luck.
It did. The Smash Machine.
I mean, that's Brock Lesnar is not all the way there yet, but he is in the game. He's the cover of the 2010. He is. He's so big.
It's not some. I did MMA for a while. That's why the creepy finger, but not somebody I would ever want to fight. No, definitely not. But UFC 2009, a lot of big rivalry in that with me and O2 as well. He tells a story about how he knocked me out in a fight and I got mad and told him to leave my house. I do not recall said story that he is speaking of. I have no idea what he's talking about. But we did compete in a UFC local tournament where the local movie theater put on this tournament and put it on the movie theater screen. So you just have your controller and you're playing other contestants on the movie screen. It was awesome. Him and I went in to this competition, this tournament, knowing that it's going to be me and him in the finals. Nobody else in here stands a chance. We play online ranked. We play each other. Nobody's, again, you think you're good. You think you like the game. You're not. You're not. And that's exactly what happened. We walked through every single person like they were nothing. I mean, knocking people out, submitting people, whatever, didn't matter.
But
Get wrecked.
And
you're
then
done.
they picked up the controller.
It's a very much a Willy Wonka. You get nothing, sir. Good day. You lose. Goodbye. And it's me and him in the finals, and it came down to the last match, and he got me.
What's that like playing on that giant screen? I mean,
It was amazing.
Does it feel
cool.
right doing it? Does it move well?
It did, especially with that game. You know, being for 2009, they did such an amazing job of how fluid that game was, how fluid, how easy the controls were, how maneuverable everything was, and it was just seamless. In my opinion, it's perfect. And playing that on a movie screen and just beating the brakes off of kids. What's better than that? Seeing them physically and emotionally be upset, and you're just like, why'd you even come here?
This game is funny. It's funny you brought up Spike TV. This game won the best individual sport game at the Spike TV Video Game Awards. Back in the day. Let me tell you, Spike TV is a gem. Dan, do you know who produced the Spike TV Video Game Awards? I didn't know this until tonight.
No, I don't know where this is going.
Jeff Keighley produced the Spike TV Video Game. This man's been doing it since back then.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking more of the Spike TV. No, he's been doing the Video Game Award stuff, yes, since then. I did know that.
He was running it on Spike TV. I had no idea. I know I watched it. I watched all the Spike TV stuff, the Video Game Awards, when they had, the Man Awards with the mantlers. Spike TV is a gem.
And what channel aired UFC fights back then? Jeff Keighley, always a man willing to know where the bread is buttered.
I had to be. It's on Spike TV.
It was Spike TV.
It was also Spike TV.
Spike TV.
Yes,
Spike TV
yes. Jeff Keighley's a man who's always known where his bread is buttered. That's all.
That was so funny. I had no idea Jeff Keighley was doing stuff.
I'd always order the pay-per-views and have like parties at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And like my friends would come over and everybody would throw in $5 and we'd buy the pay-per-view and like order pizza and watch it on the big screen TV at my house. And everybody just, come over and hanging out, watching the fights, grubbing. It was a fun time.
Well, we're going to take a jump back from here. We asked you for some honorable mentions, and this is the first one's probably the cleanest smuggle. Your Mario Kart smuggle, not as clean. You're jumping around the Mario Kart's history, but you're the first person, I believe, to officially declare that they are requesting the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt combo cartridge.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, all time.
The only cartridge it's the only cartridge I think I owned for the NES. Because the only
I owned a lot, but that was again Christmas morning when I was like 4 or 5, I think 5. Coming downstairs, and the Nintendo had been out for a while. I was born in '88, so this is when I was like 5. So this is like early '90s. So it'd been out for a minute. So you could go to a pawn shop or whatever and get an NES and get a handful of games for the cheap. So that's what my parents did, and that was the first thing that stuck out to me was Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. And I had the laser guns. And I was like, so what is this game about? So put it on, immediately turn on Duck Hunt too, because 5-year-old boy, laser gun. I'm in
North
there
Carolina,
like
yeah, you're in. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like swimwear, brother. And they're like swimwear. So I just remember playing that with my dad. One of my favorite memories. I lost my dad when I was pretty young. I was still in high school, so that always is a fond, memorable game in my heart because, like I said, lost him when I was pretty young, and that's always one thing that my brain goes back to is playing Mario and Duck Hunt with my dad.
So was there competition back and forth between you swapping off, or
Between me and the old man? Of
Yeah.
course, competition and wanting to be better is immediate, especially in video games. I think it's immediate.
Did you guys mess with the second controller and the duck controlling the ducks at all?
Didn't know that was a thing.
Oh man, you could have.
Adley didn't know that was a thing.
That would have been peak kid messing with the older person energy. If you just
if I had known,
snuck
totally
the controller to the side, you start. Why is the duck suddenly pulling some major deeks going up the screen? You could have really gotten him with that.
He liked trying to shoot the dog a lot when he'd laugh, as would I.
As
I
would
think everybody.
Again, as with the Penguin in Mario 64, 99% of people did it, whether they want to admit it or not.
Exactly. But he got me at first, of course, he's older, wiser, kind of knows mechanics, and has hand-eye coordination already a bit more down pat than 5-year-old me. But it didn't take long before the old man was in the dust once I started figuring it out.
Did you guys, I have to ask, I know this didn't come up, did you ever break out Hogan's Alley? Did you get hold of that one? That would have been a good competition.
I did not at that age. I got it later on, but I never got to play that one with my dad, sadly.
So how about Mario Brothers? Was that involved in this at all? Besides just it's on the cartridge, it's the NES's.
Oh, of course, we both would play Mario together just as much as Duck Hunt.
So you were Luigi then. You're talking about only child. I was wondering if you're only Mario, but no, you were plenty of times Luigi then.
Yeah, we trade off. Sometimes my dad would let me be Mario and he'd be Luigi, and then sometimes it didn't really matter. It's just like whatever. We're playing. It's fun time. It's fun times with Dad. Playing video games. Who cares who's Mario and who's Luigi?
Well, that's a different upbringing than people get now. That's what it's going to be. So did you end up beating? Did you guys beat Mario together at all?
I'm sure. Yes, we did.
How'd you handle that 7th and 8th castle? That's the thing I wanted to really get to here.
It took us a while. Many runs.
Yeah, you couldn't pull up the internet for that answer then. That's the fun part.
No.
I don't get how kids beat that. I don't.
Many runs. Much trial and error. A lot of figuring what works and what doesn't.
Well, because you don't have any instructions saying like, oh, by the way, this doesn't.
Nothing.
You just keep going back to that same spot and you try something different. You're like, oh, I get it. Either it like mentally unlocks for you, or you rage quit harder than anybody ever has.
Yeah, 100%. But sometimes we'd spend like whole Saturdays just sitting there, running through it, trying to get it, for a long time. And then we finally figured it out and we did it. And that was the first game that I ever beat. Ever was that with my dad. So again, another thing that is very special and holds dear.
Got the yellow legal pad, something like that, to help you with that, you and Dad?
Yeah. Played that and would write. My dad worked for a pest control service, so he was an inspector for houses. Like
some branded notepads that helped the way.
So he had the company ledgerhead notepads.
The swag, the swag pads.
Yep. Don't jump left on this peg. All the whole thing. Laying it out.
Down. Yeah. Which way you got to head each time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll stick with you. So you move then into Ocarina as your second honorable mention. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, one of the highest rated video games of all time. Though Claire Obscure is coming for its spot. I think I got to look and see where that's running at, because that's up in the high 90s on Metacritic.
I'll tell you in a second. Clay Obscure 92.
Oh, that draw. That fell down. Last I know, Ocarina's up at like 97 or 98 still. It's
Ocarina is still at 99. The only 99.
is it 99? Is it 99? Oh, it's even higher than I realized.
It's the only one
deserved.
Yes, it's the number one, but 4.8 on Channel 3. So I ask why this one, and Ray will wait and see if this is the same answer I expect it to be. But why this one?
Another game that I got, get 64 on Christmas later in life. I always got consoles at Christmas time. That's the only time I ever got consoles. So NES, I didn't get the Super Nintendo until later in life. So I rocked the NES and a Sega for a long time. I had both, but I always preferred the Nintendo unless it was like Sonic or, something like that, of course.
Sonic and sports. That's what the Sega was there for.
Right. Exactly. NES on Christmas, Nintendo 64 on Christmas, GameCube on Christmas, Nintendo kid through and through, front to back, whole way. Game Boy Color, Christmas one year. Serious Nintendo love going for me. I was an on brand kid. Stuck with the tried and true.
So was this the first Zelda you beat? That's gonna be my question.
It is.
Ray, I'm thinking that's got to be. We've been trying to figure out sociologically, like what's leading to the Zelda picks for each person.
The first the longest, what seemed like the toughest game that I completed by myself as a kid.
We're gonna have talks with your next game then. I got questions then based on.
It's a great sense of accomplishment.
So what was this like? Was this one of the early ones for the 64 for you, or like had you already played Mario? So was this like your first experience on the 64 then, turning this on and seeing Navi flying around the village and just like getting a taste of everything?
That was the first game that I played on the 64 was Ocarina, and turning it on them, just like you said. I played the other Zelda games, some of the other Zelda games on Game Boy and on the NES, but those are very kind of like one-dimensional. It's the NES. And I never beat it because it just seemed like an outrageous puzzle game, and I'd just be like, I'm a kid, don't have the patience for this, get frustrated, quit it.
Yeah, especially because for both of those there were sequential orders and like not the clearest, especially for the first Zelda, there's not clear instructions. You've got to figure it out. And like it's giving you mapping tools. Mario. You need notes.
Again, like Super Mario Brothers, you had nothing to go off of. You didn't know where you were going. You're going into,
Miyamoto wanted you to talk to your friends about how to play the first Zelda and work through it together. Like, what if your friends don't have Zelda? Then what? Now what do you do, Miyamoto?
Exactly. Nothing. You got nothing. So I just get frustrated with that. But Mario was different. That was, me and Pops. So we had to persevere on that. But playing Zelda, he's like, kid, I don't know. And I'm like, I got nothing.
So you get to the 64 and you're like, let me take another crack at Zelda? Is that like, it's just like, this is the game that's there. Let me take another crack.
I think my dad saw like an ad for it or something. He's like, oh, it's not like that Zelda. And a lot of people like this one more, so maybe he'll like this. It seems to be one of the more popular games, so I got that. And he's like, it's not like the other ones, it's a different console or whatever. Try this one out. So that's the first thing that I tried was that. And, completely 3D now, and like the graphics and it's blew me away.
How old were you at that point that where you're playing this? We're playing this guy.
Like 6th, 7th grade. So like,
12, 13 range, somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're ready to go. It's time for you to pick up the sword and take it.
Right. It's time. It was the perfect time. It was, in my opinion, the perfect game for that time to try and, all right, we're gonna figure this out. You had Nintendo powers by then. You had a little bit of, ways to figure some things out and get by some stuff with a little bit of help so you wouldn't get stuck. And just an overall great game.
Which leads me to the one question I have to ask about the water temple. How'd that go?
That took a minute. That took a minute.
I always wonder, like, is there some way that we all should have figured? I've never met anybody anywhere who's like, oh yeah, no, I breezed through that thing one run, no worries, no issues, no double.
You figure it out, and then you feel silly.
Yeah, I never feel silly. I just feel grateful it's over. But I never.
You're grateful it's over, but you feel silly. You're just like, really, that I had to do that. You had to do. Come on.
Well, let's continue the discussion of brutality, suffering, and pain. As your third honorable mention is Battletoads, which I bring up because, listen, there's the Mount Rushmore of pain and suffering on the Nintendo. You have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You have Contra. You got Ghosts and Goblins. Mount Rushmore's got 4 heads on it. And guess what head number 4 is? It's Battletoads.
It's Battletoads.
3.7 rated on Channel 3. It's taking a kick to the teeth there, but this is not to be clear.
Not for everybody.
There's an accessibility. Yeah, there's an accessibility that like people don't get to play this one, and I don't think they realized how hard it was. But so how'd this end up taking your final spot?
Just always loved it. Loved the music. Loved the graphics. To be on an NES, to be able, the big giant fists and the big foot.
Yeah, the finisher cool boot looking. Comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just cool looking. Until you get to the turbo tunnel. Until you get to the turbo tunnel.
So which one did you worse, the bikes or the elevator?
The turbo tunnel, 100%. The elevator, you figure it out after a while. You kind of feel that one's a little bit easier, in my opinion, to feel out.
I think if you keep moving, it helps with the elevator.
Exactly.
That's like you can't sit still and just wait for the next. You got to just keep moving.
You're gonna get zapped. A crow's gonna, fly into your face. Whatever. You figure that out. It's a little bit more leeway, I think, for you to get through that one. And the turbo tunnel is just 100% unforgiving.
Just high speed bikes, and Nintendo's not ready for it. I wonder.
No.
I wonder if you make that today, it plays a little smoother.
I would imagine so, but back then, it had no mercy. It did not care about your feelings. It did not care about your emotions. Pain is what we will give you.
Did your dad jump in on this one, or was this you suffering on your own?
This is me suffering on my own. He tried it once and was like, no way.
Great opening level. Like you said, just you can tear through it. You're just beating bad guys up.
You're like, oh, this game's gonna be so fun. This is so cool. And you get to the elevator and you're like, okay, this is kind of all right. Okay, do this. Okay, you got to swing. Oh, you turn into a wrecking ball thing. Okay, you just got to keep moving. All right, I died. Crap. Do it again. Get a little bit further. By like the 4th or 5th try, you kind of got that one figured out, and you're like, all right, you get through it. Turbo tunnel, days, hours, months. Just whenever you feel like suffering, you turn on Battletoads until one day, glory. One day, glory.
Well, the thing is though, like you have to remind kids today. You're like, oh, it can't be that bad. Like, no, but the problem is you ran out of lives. You don't get to continue and just restart in the same level. You didn't have.
They purposely made Nintendo game. They only had a certain amount of space for the game, so they didn't want to, make games on
make it too
cartridges
easy
back then to be too easy because the replayability is not there. Like, oh, it's so easy. You're done with it. You never play it again. It ends up in a pawn shop or at a yard sale. Making the game difficult. You're gonna keep wanting to go to the rental store and rent it if you don't have it. You're dying to go like to Blockbuster or the mom and pop rental shop to get it again. To try and see if you can get further and further. Until eventually you just buy it because you're so angry at it that you have to defeat the game. And then the pause music sounds awesome, but then you're raging because you can't get through this freaking tunnel on the speeder bike. And then, like I said, eventually one day, glory.
Ray, there are no more. I mean, with the decline of the game rental business, there are no more hate purchases anymore, are there? As described by that.
No, there's
No.
I don't know how many
no,
hate
you
purchases there
don't-
were. Like, I could beat this. I could do it. I may as well just buy. Like, I could do it. Like, ooh, I haven't thought about
now
the
you
hate
just-
purchase.
Man, no,
Because-
you just find the games you like. There's
No.
we get so many options now.
No,
Or-
angry
or-
purchases
yeah.
back in the day when you were a kid because you have to beat it and you're mad. You're mad that you can't. You mentioned the NES Mount Rushmore of hard games.
Of suffering.
I had all of them. I had all of them. And bonus, if Mount Rushmore had another head, I had Ninja Gaiden
Oh, the first one. Oh, yeah.
from the jump. I had Ghosts and Goblins, Ninja Gaiden, Contra. It's just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
You know what? I think Ninja Gaiden actually may take that spot over Battletoads as long as I could beat Battletoads without cheating.
I beat Ghosts and Goblins before I beat Battletoads though. Not just the one run, the actually beating it and doing it twice
The game that
before
was
I beat
designed
Battletoads.
the game that was designed to suck up your quarters in the arcade, you were able to take down.
Yep,
Oh my god.
I was
Well, let's
with help from my dad. That was another one with help. With help.
Nice. Well, let's take a massive jump into the future, which is getting closer by the minute here. But I'm taking Mario Kart World this time. I'm not letting Ray take Mario. I wanted to have a shot at Mario Kart World.
Go ahead, Dan. Say something
and
about it.
driving. No, I just want to ask. So, Machete Man, we're a month out from the announcement of the Switch 2, the formal
We are.
information. We went from the initial date of like, wait a second, they had one shot in the background that showed 24 slots in a Mario Kart, and I don't think in 2025 they're going to do a demo like they did for the GameCube with Zelda. Like I think this is real. This is real. And then they
It
reveal the
looks like
Switch
real
2.
life.
They reveal a Switch 2 and like, there's Mario Kart 2 and it's getting its own direct in 2 weeks. And we got the direct. And we got 17 minutes of Mario Kart World
Chaos.
action. So what were your reactions as this all progressed? Having had a lifetime of Mario Kart.
It would just look like chaos, like pure. You're sliding, you're grinding a car on a rail. Oh, you're on a jet ski now. How is the Goomba driving the car? He does not have arms. Why is the penguin in here? What is going on? It just
Who gave that cow a license to drive a scooter?
Beats me, man.
Where are the Koopalings?
Where I told you.
Where are the
Mario Kart
Koopalings?
One of my mains is Iggy. Where are the effing Koopalings? Where is my boy
release them.
Iggy?
They'll release
DLC.
them into the wild. Don't worry.
They better, or I'm
DLC
going
characters.
to Japan and being like, what's the deal, bro?
Yeah, that'll be a Switch subscriber bonus.
You give me Iggy, or I will riot.
Yeah, it's there's no way that they can get away with that. That'll never fly.
You can't.
And just
Again,
getting rid
you
of
put
Link.
the penguin in. You put the penguin in there. You put the Goomba in there. You're putting everybody and their mom in Mario Kart World except the Koopalings.
No Link
And
and no
where's
Villager either,
Tanuki?
right?
And then no Tanuki,
Yeah, no
no
bonus.
Villager.
No outside of Mario characters.
No outside. Nothing outside now. There won't be Kirby. There's a Kirby game.
No, blasphemous.
Machete. So I got to ask you, what degree of whelmed were you? Were you under, over, or just whelmed?
Just whelmed. There were so many highs and then lows with no Koopalings. It really disappointed me. And the chaos element looks amazing. Like there's just going to be so many new things to figure out, and so many shortcuts and track configurations to figure out. I think it's really gonna, especially for Channel 3, I think it's gonna really level the playing field back out for quite a bit until some things get figured out, and see how fast people can figure stuff out and progress and see what happens. I think it's going to be a good shakeup.
I haven't warned Ray, but I'll tell you right now, the World Tourist tagline will be a weekly event for the foreseeable future once we start getting courses.
That's cool. That's
Bit,
cool.
I think that'll work, right? World Tourist, I think that's the
yeah.
There's already a local gaming store right down the road from me that's announced that they're going to have like seasonal Mario Kart World events. You're gonna have to go in and race to get points. Like,
wow.
The plans
getting serious fast.
They're happening all over. They're saying, it's happening. We're doing this already. Be ready to be here in the summer and race.
Right,
awesome. You love to see it.
I'm here.
My last world question for you is, okay, so you get a hold of the game, you turn it on. What's the first thing you're doing?
Not going online. Not going online.
So are you going to run a race, or are you going to do some of this tour scouting stuff?
I'm going to go run a couple races, at least do every available track, give it one run from the jump, just against like the comms, and see what's up, and see some of the turns, and see some of the stuff that's going on. And then if there's like a regional setting or whatever for online, then after a pass on every track, then jump into like a regional or something like that and see what's up, and kind of start feeling some stuff out with some actual live players and seeing what can be figured out and how the mechanics are and everything else.
Don't wait too long, because I'm certain Target will be within days of the game being released of getting some weird stuff on the map.
Of course, I'm sure it's going to happen.
You effectively have that entire thing to play. We don't have to worry about breaking out 4 maps in a cup. No, it's just going to be a world map, and good luck, everybody.
Yep, have fun. But I'm sure there's going to be so much, like so many streams, of people on Twitch and like YouTubers and stuff that I watch. They're going to figure stuff out like immediately, and there's going to be some learning curve. Hopefully there's a lot of learning curve, but I just know the skill level of some of the people that I watch on YouTube and whatnot. They're gonna pick it up quick.
I'm just waiting for Basic to drive around like he's a Google Maps car, looking at every aspect of this thing, just trying to strap a camera to everything.
He's probably going to be one of the people that doesn't take long.
He's too smart. That's the problem. His brain. His brain operates. He's
a different breed, especially when it comes to kart and figuring out the mechanics of every course and everything. Dude's got it down to a science for sure.
All right. Well, this is the point where we take a question from the Channel 3 history books for you to discuss. And our question for you today: what video game character would you play in a movie?
What video game character would I play in a movie? I don't know. Based on like appearance and my goofiness, sometimes like Wario or something. Probably, I guess would make sense.
What's your best Wario impression? You gotta do that.
No, I can't.
You gotta do something. Don't tell me that you
can't do it.
You gotta do something.
Can't do it. I just look like the guy, man. That's all I got.
Take us home, Ray.
Last question. What's been your favorite feature on Channel 3?
My favorite feature? Well, every morning when I'm on my preparation for work and everything, I always do my daily XP, trivia, target, and enhance. So I'd have to say probably just from the app itself, though, that is part of my everyday morning routine. So I love that. That's one thing that I wake up to every morning and click on Channel 3 and do that, and then scroll a little bit and see what's going on, what some folks are saying, what some folks are playing. That's always one of my favorite things to look forward to every day.
Is that the order that you play them in? The trivia, target, enhance?
Yep.
Is it okay?
Trivia, target,
so
enhance.
You're just like an agent of chaos? What explain? Yep. What's the thought? Oh God, this is a trivia question for the day his episode releases.
Dan, what order do you play them in?
Left to right. The only exception,
Oh.
the only time I don't go left to right, okay, there's only one time or one circumstance. So if I play target and I get a 97 or higher, I jump to trivia to see if I can get the 103. And then at that point, because I have the most enhanced knowledge just because, and like I'm a month ahead on enhance, like on new enhances. So I can't say my brain is like that locked in on what they are, but that's the one I want to take a crack at last to see if I can get the hundo and hit the 300 again. But otherwise, it's just left to right. I go trivia. I go target, enhance, trivia. Like
I go target, trivia, enhance.
what is with you, psychopaths? Why?
It's just the way I do them.
Why?
I think I go
Trivia,
from
target,
the
enhance.
one I most enjoy to the one I enjoy least.
That's what I do.
the one. Yeah, Ray's traumatized.
And
by
you
that.
me and enhanced don't get we don't get along.
From day
No.
negative 25.
Yeah, so we go
Ray,
target, trivia, enhance
Ray's first 3 guesses every day are still Minecraft.
just to make sure it'll happen.
Fortnite.
It'll happen
Fortnite
one
off
day.
rip every time.
I mean, I just click that get lucky button as often as I can. I got it. I finally got it once. Dan, have you gotten lucky?
No, the first 3 go to
That's
lucky.
tough.
The first 2 go to lucky every day, unless I'm going for the 3 hundo again.
I still haven't gotten it.
I can't hit that tagline now.
One day, Dan. And on that note, we've made it to the end of another What Are Your 3 podcast. Thank you, Machete Man, for being with us.
Thanks for
You can
having me,
find it.
gentlemen.
You can find the podcast at c3.gg/podcast, dropping every Wednesday morning at 3:33 a.m. Eastern on all the major platforms, including Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Ray. Dan puts this all together. Our theme song is by Caster Garden. And for our executive producer, Joel Willis. Have a good day, everybody.
Channel 3 is the future.
I'm not
that
even
recording button. Let's try this again.
Oh God, that would have been a first.
Woo, that would have. Anyway, all right, let's try that again. Ready?